Hello, Capricorn. Welcome. So we are still using VCam. Yes, there's construction going on in my house, and so this setup is a little bit different. I'm blurring the background because there's shit everywhere. It's almost done. Thank you for being here. This is the Feminine Inquisition. My name is Tiffany, and we're doing a reading for the month of June, which, as you know, holds both Gemini and Cancer. So we're working through a spread that looks a little different than usual. We're going to go and see what your two truths are, what your two ideas are, because Gemini teaches all of us how to hold the wisdom of contradiction, right? Two ideas that are not necessarily always opposing, but definitely two sides of the story. And so they reconcile them in some way because through their sophistication, through their ways in which they manage the interdependence of things. And because Cancer is also here, sometimes these truths shed light on our personal mechanisms inside, right? How can we reconcile the two sides of ourselves? So we'll take a closer look at what those two truths for you may be. We're going to use a bunch of different decks and see what comes through. As of now, I've been using just a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith depiction, clarifying the sentiments to get a better idea by the Osho Zen and the Before and After Tarot for clarifications, okay? All right. So, once again, this is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I just did all signs with timestamps. That's going to be released tomorrow. And hopefully I can continue to stay doing all signs, which is a long time to sit in this chair, but I can continue to do those on Sundays for every collective. That would be great indeed. If this reading resonates for you and you feel that a piece of your life is here, there's a nugget of gold, please be sure to like this message. Leave me a comment. It helps the channel. I'm trying to grow it. So if you have enjoyed any moments here, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. If for any reason it doesn't, just check out your other placements or catch you on the next one, all right? So let's get into it. For Capricorn Spirit, show me, please, what it is that we are looking at, these two truths that are available here and now. The Eight of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. Well, certainly not dealing with different concepts. Capricorn, you are always so concise and you are always so clear about where your investments lay. The Fool, you are taking a chance on something. Maybe you're actually freeing yourself from something. Like if you've been working really hard, which is why the Eight of Pentacles is here on the one hand, you're really focused, you've had your goals in mind, you've had your landmarks, you've had the people that you need to get in touch with, all of your lists. And then when you get there, there's this amazing chance to be free, right? To take a vacation, a much needed vacation from the grand effort. Now over here, there's the completion energy, which I think for you could probably be like maybe slightly feeling neurotic about what could happen if things go wrong. Now that you've made it here, now what? So we'll see. The Fool to the Two of Swords, taking a chance on the unknown. Three of Wands, trying to manifest, calling something to you as you wait. From the Five of Pentacles, perhaps you've been in a desperate place before this moment of abundance. And so your mindset of wanting to keep on working is because previously you know what it's like to not have anything. Knight of Wands, for what? The Knight of Swords, wow. With the World. Okay, a little bit of a combustion, a little bit of a combative energy, two knights side by side. And I don't really get it quite yet because, right, if we refer back through Seuss, which I often do as a reader, there is a particular energy here that's showing itself. It's moon energy. It's trying to be disciplined in terms of objectivity. It's trying to make decisions regarding Libra elements because this is moon in Libra, which has to do with relationships. The other balancing the two, but as we can always tell and know, she is at a crossroads in this card. She doesn't actually know how to make this decision. First of all, she's separated from her waters, which is her moon energy. She is also blindfolded, so she cannot see in the physical sense of things, and the swords are across her chest, so she cannot feel. And yet she is burdened with this choice. And so there's this sense of surrender that's a possibility here. But that surrender is the referral point from this Knight of Swords, who does not at all seem that he is ready to surrender. So what was a place of indecision for someone's energy now becomes a very fast-tracked, heated, passionate, aggressive, quick, swift energy. I have no idea what that's about. I take this Knight and I think about how playful, how courageous, how ambitious, how quick and full of wit and enthusiasm, and how he's ready for change, whether it's in his own life, whether he's bringing change to other people's life. There's an excitement, a fun that's always available with the Knight of Wands. However, he refers back to the Three of Wands, which is waiting. So from a waiting energy becomes a quick, we're going to go do the thing. Both of these are moving towards the Five of Pentacles, which could be a separation, could be a desperation, could be a disappointment, could be a kind of rough spot in terms of resources. The world is here, so whatever it is that these Knights are going towards is either a closed cycle, a new cycle. Because this is marked by the Fool, it's really one and the same, because in the succession of the major arcana, it goes World and Fool. So you're showing me a potential to have closed or will be closing this month a chapter and ready to open one immediately thereafter. So let's just go again and see a little bit more information. Can I have one more card? The Hierophant. Okay, so it is about elevation. It is about sitting at the top of the command, if you will. What you value, the structure of how things will work, what you give permission to, what you put your faith into, how you regard your investments. Seven of Pentacles. So yeah, there's a lot of discernment. There's a lot of, I will have to think on it, right? The structure is in place. You know what's worked previously, but you're not sure that you're not sure whether or not it will continue to work. So I'm looking at what is a contradiction between two ideas. One is stay the course, right? It's always worked this way. We've always done this because that is how we get to the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles could also represent traditions, the lineage, right? The heritage, right? Like maybe an old school way, because you want to honor the legacy that brought you here now in the life that you're living. And so paying an homage is to do things in the way that you know are tried and true. And yet at the same time with the Fool, there's a willingness to do something differently, to clean the slate and to try for a new beginning. And I feel like that's the creative application of what effort could look like with this Pentacle energy. As you can see, Capricorn, we're loaded with pentacles. Let's take a closer look at what brought this on so I can have some context. We're going to use the Before Tarot because I don't really have a sense of why this moment has got you considering what to invest in, what not to invest in, or why this moment is one that you look at your investment. Can I have the backstory? This deck just spits cards out, so watch out. One more. What's the backstory here? For Capricorn for June 2026. Backstory, please. Page of Cups. Well, the fish landed in your cup. An opportunity came. That's why. What is this opportunity? Of an emotional nature, one that you're trying to stay in your seat for, but you feel it's familiar. It reminds you of something from the past. Yeah. And that brings good things and bad things. Good things in the sense that you have learned lessons and you don't want to repeat the same mistakes. You also want to be less severe, right? There's a cat here. You want to have a certain levity. You want to have a certain adjustable or playful. You want to have a curiosity in how you too can tap into your waters and do something that is different from how it was done before, because I think that this is because it is a card of the past. You don't want to repeat mistakes from the past. So even if the piece of you wants to honor the legacy that has brought you here and the customs that you know are working, you also want to be able to have your own vision here, your own emotional intelligence and your own curiosity, because it's not meant to be sad. It's not meant to be, it's not meant to, if this opportunity comes, is what you're saying, then let's play with it. Let's honor this moment of the arrival. Queen of Swords. Wow. Two heads of state. The logic and the intuition. Three of Wands again. So this is something that you called forth. And I do think that it's something that you're called forth into a higher state of being. So this is a month of growth for you. This is a month of expansion. I don't know what astrologically speaking would be going on in your chart. But I know that across from you, Jupiter has been in Cancer for quite some time. And so maybe there's a burst. Perhaps you have some Sagittarius placements. But I do see that there is something that arrives that is a grand opportunity that you've called into existence, that you want to act as the fool because of the world. So if you have the capability to close something out, you get to rise and elevate to this Hierophant. But be certain that this is a 5. This is also a 5. There are challenges to get to this place, because it is about establishing internal harmony as you call what you want to make manifest towards you. So the fish arrived. The King of Cups is sitting here trying to stay emotionally balanced as whether he's moving through you and it's your contemplation, or if it's a fatherly figure, some mentor, some boss, some colleague that is in a different status than you, tells you, well, we can't take that chance because last time we took that chance, look what happened. We spilled. We're trying to use the numbers to make the best decision. Logic, reason. But you got fire under your wings. So that's the discrepancy here. Let's see how your feelings are on the situation. We're going to use the Osho Zen. And this is work-based, I feel. Although there are emotions here. There's the Page of Cups, King of Cups. I feel as though this is about putting your waters into your craft. Show me anything about how Capricorn feels regarding this. These two thoughts. Can I see Capricorn's emotions on it? Capricorn's thoughts on it. How does Capricorn feel about this? The Three of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, the Queen of Cups. Ooh, okay. Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So let's say it could be something to do with work, but now that I have divine counterparts here, that's pretty challenging. So Capricorn, the Three of Wands is here now 3 times. There is definitely something that you have been trying to say in your private moments, when you are journaling, when you're meditating, when you're running through fantasies in your life. There is something that you're really calling to you. There's something that you want. And you think about it a lot. And you're separated from it. This is the second time that we're seeing the Five of Pentacles. You feel away, separate, far, distanced. And maybe it's something that you created distance yourself, because it refers back again to the Hierophant. He's got his two hands up. He gives permission to whether or not something is of value or not, whether something can be invested upon or not, if it can pass or not. He's kind of rigid in the way that he doesn't believe in miracles. So this is calling for a miracle. This is outside the miracle. I don't know if you are trying to will something from someone who is standing in the Hierophant energy, or if it is you who has been previously in the Hierophant energy and now you're trying to be a little bit more open to miracles. Seven of Cups. I think that you're drowning in what is a development process of how do we invest? What's real world life that I can touch, taste, hold? And what is the fantasy of what I'm building, walking towards, stepping towards, becoming, but also can't really count on. Sorry. You know, it doesn't matter if I say no sound. The sound just still comes through. And that's that. I don't know what's the deal with my phone. So the Seven of Cups is then followed by the Queen of Cups, which is in this deck is receptivity. And you're open to everything. You're open to all the possibilities. The Queen of Cups is the divine counterpart of the King of Cups. The Page of Cups would be the childlike energy between you two, or an apology, or forgiveness, or, you know, curiosity, the cat. So if there's a connection that you are separated from, that's what we're talking about. The work for it, the stability of it, the regret from the separation, because Queen of Swords is behind this. The opportunity of what it meant for commitment. You called this into existence. How can you invest in it? Can you invest in it if you feel drowned by emotion and separated from it? Yeah, there it is. This is in French, pain. This is the pain. This is anguish. What do I do? Six of Cups. This was the dream. So you're open, in other words, right? We're clarifying your feelings on it. You're open. But also, I feel you very passive. I feel you open to receive, Queen of Cups, but I don't feel you prepared to make any big moves. With this Three of Wands, you're calling it towards you. So let's see where this is going. Capricorn, June 2026. Where is this going? Yeah, because if we look at this is the management of your mind, the management of your mind about your seeking joy in the fantasy of this soul bond. The union, or the breakthrough in this deck, this is the Justice of the Lovers, the totality of what is the new vision. The Magician at the bottom of the deck, this is Hangman, this is Five of Wands. So is there a conflict about the vision that you perceived to be building together in this union and the harmony of the ups and downs with the lovers? I don't know. Nine of Swords is where you're currently at. Where is this going? Nine of Swords is huge stress, anxiety, sleepless nights. For Capricorn, where is this going? Communication about the relationship from a Leo, perhaps, if you're dealing with a Leo, or the strength to maintain the courage to manage that communication if the communication comes out from you. Again, I didn't get a huge sense that you were the charging force here. And we did start the reading with those two knights, but I'm not sure. King of Wands, that's Leo 2 times on the table. Five of Cups again. The sadness is marked by this King of Wands energy. And the stress is also there. Okay, got it. So you're sharing the stress because the Nine of Swords is here 2 times. You're also sharing the disappointment. The Five of Cups is here 2 times. And it is particularly marked as regret for this King of Wands about what they did or did not have courage to take action on regarding the union, regarding balance, regarding partnership. We saw the Justice over here. We saw the Lovers over here. So all of my first interpretations about this being a work-related situation, this is about investment as it relates to taking a chance. Yet again, the Fool is here. And I don't think either one of you want to be the Fool, and I don't think anyone's making a move. Okay. So let's come back to the beginning. 7 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, the Hierophant. No, 8 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, Hierophant. I think I said 7 because it was under here. This is the strong dedication. This is power. 8 is always power. And it has to do with the infinite loop, which is as above, so below, which is your ability to manifest, which we keep seeing the 3 of Wands. Okay? So if you are here trying to understand what your values are, if you have shared values in this union, and if it holds water, right? If there's substance here to move forward, to be committed to, it's going to take work. Also, this is the context of the environment that you exist in. This is also maybe the home that you live in. This is also the partnership becoming so grounded and so rooted that it becomes the tree of life. Can this partnership become, or is it already a 10 of Pentacles? And are you at the stage where you're trying to decide what to do? How can I continue to hold this? How can I continue to maintain this? It's super stressful. It has to do with emotionality, both you and your partner, respectively, however you feel, however you identify, King and Queen of Cups, and the Fool. So let's see the after tarot. What's the main point here? What does Capricorn really need to know? Help them. Thank you. The High Priestess, you already know. The Page of Cups. So this is where the fish lands. Fresh. This is where the fish falls out. Through silence. King of Pentacles, that's you. King of Swords, someone else. Justice. 4 of Cups. And in this deck, they're pouring out the cup. Very curious to see what's at the bottom of the deck. The Sun, that is Leo. 3 times Leo has shown up, okay? So, there's a breakthrough. The sun is going to shine. The sun is going to shine some idea. I don't know what it comes in with. I don't know how fair this King of Swords can be if he doesn't factor in emotions. And this King of Pentacles looks like the bull is bowing, right? Like he's got his hand on the bull is head down, submitting. So this is your energy. So this is submission to you. From the King of Swords, in a sense of justice, pouring out the cup. Sun, 6 of Swords, Queen of Cups. The breakthrough of what it meant to arrive after walking away, after departing, after avoiding, learning from what it is, learning what it is that needed to be learned from walking away from the Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords, Hanged Man. That's the perspective needed. Knight of Wands. Okay. So the person that you're dealing with was definitely rigid, but they operate in two sides. So you may be dealing with a Gemini. They operate in swords and wands, air and fire. And they need to reconcile their energies as they are coming to a decision about whatever it is that they learn. Now, I am not certain that you don't learn all of it. The King of Swords is here with justice. So those are two swords. Then it's clarified by the Sun, furthermore by the Queen of Swords. So there's a lot of chances for these ideas to come out of their mouth towards you. I just don't know what that would look like. I see that it could be submissive. I see that somehow, some way, there's an intuition that it might be too late, that what was here may not be viable anymore. We see a fish falling out of the cup. We see the cup being poured out. So let's get a closer look at the cup. Can I see the cup, please? The Star. And this card is called the Silence. So maybe in the moment where you weren't connected or speaking, if you're not on speaking terms, a lot was absorbed and learned and maybe communicated telepathically about what the dream was between you two. The Moon, definitely. Wow. You have a deep connection to this person. They have a deep connection to you, and perhaps you see each other in dreams. The Lovers, just everything I just said times 10. The King of Cups, so much love is present here, so much exhaustion and repression of not having a chance to express that love. In this deck, this is the King of Cups is called healing, and in this deck, the Ten of Wands is repression. This is the break free from illusion. This is the judgment. So the King of Cups is calling judgment upon repressing himself from expression, and he is breaking free from the illusion that repression was actually the best course of action. Magician, exactly, calling into existence now. So I'm going to tell you now, this Magician is changing the way in which reality has presented itself. And why? Because here someone was blocked, someone was holding on. Four of Pentacles. Over here, the shifting of perspectives and how the Knight of Wands moves is from the Four of Pentacles. So what the healing is of a energy that is like a contraction. When someone closes up, when someone shuts down, when they cannot say how they feel, when they're worried about losing the thing more than going for the thing, that's what you're up against. That's the breakthrough. That's what this King of Swords and King of Cups and King of Wands, all the other kings except the King of Pentacles. And look, this could be twofold. This could be about work, in the work environment. You could be dealing with like kind of similar motifs, similar themes. But for you, the wisdom of your contradiction is how to understand where to lay your investment and how to do things differently. How to do things differently day to day. All right, let's shuffle this again and let's get some advice. I think that you're so solid in who you are. This is not trickling into any personal issues with identity. This is just a matter of whomever it was that you've been dealing with, however many people it is that you've been dealing with, how graceful, how much grace you will give them, I think that's really what it comes down to. Will you be a benevolent king? Female or male, doesn't matter. Will you be a benevolent king? And I think the answer is yes. I think you care a lot. And I think you've known all along with the High Priestess here that this is a sense of fumbling, a missed opportunity, a misjudgment, miscalculation, immaturity, stress. Ace of Pentacles is here. That's going to take you from the 7 to the 8. You're going to have your creative output in how you invest in this, how you manage it. 6 of Cups. That dream that we saw, that's that centered focus on joy. 10 of Cups. My God, it's just like I say one thing, then the card comes out saying the thing I just said. Healing that heart and sleeping on that truth, being so rested, so at peace, because it's actually healed. Whatever misunderstandings, miscommunications, misgivings, it is healed. The 3 to the 4 of Swords, that's the progress. That's the healing. That's the sealed, cauterized wound. And no longer do you have pain in the mind. 9 of Swords is here. This is the dragon being slayed. Healed so that the anxiety is also kept at bay. That's the complete transformation. There's the sun again. Will you be a benevolent king? Yes. I believe the answer is yes. I don't know exactly what goes on with this relationship. I don't know what the decisions will be made for work and how you progress. But I do know that whatever illusions you were under, whatever illusions the other was under, you come to a more complete understanding about a shared value system of commitment and what your vows are for this, how you can stand for each other, with each other. Okay. Right. I am going to leave it there. I hope that something has resonated here. And once again, if it has, please do let me know. And until the next time I read for you, have a beautiful month. Ciao, Capricorn.